Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show, in conjunction with the YouTube version on channel Take Your Life Back Today show. As many of you might know, my sister Esther is a homeschool mom, and sometimes people feel a little overwhelmed. So I want to talk about 10 things you should know about homeschool moms. The homeschool mom is, to many, a strange, elusive being. There are 10 things you should know about this fascinating creature. It should go without saying, but it probably doesn't, that I don't speak for all homeschool moms. I just speak for some of them, and you might know who you are. It's just seemed more fun to me to videotape your voice, as if I was speaking for me and my own well-being. So if you're a homeschool mom and some of these don't apply to you, that's okay. I'm really not speaking for all of you. If you're not a homeschool mom, don't think these 10 things apply to every homeschool mom, because they don't. They're individualized for the situation at hand. And you homeschool dads might also relate. Well, you've even more elusive of being than the homeschool mom, so you'll have to speak for yourself. But some of these may apply to you as well. Homeschool dads are out there. Oh, one last critical point. This is supposed to be fun and slightly amusing. If you get offended, you're probably taking it way too seriously, because it's not supposed to be taken serious. Number one on my list is they don't have superhuman patience. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Homeschooling moms or homeschool moms do not have superhuman patience. These patience thing is a myth. Yes, in all caps, as if I was yelling at you from the other side of my computer screen. Not true, false, stereotype. As some homeschool moms commented on Public School Parents' Guide to Homeschooling, parents posted this: you don't have enough patience to homeschool. Neither do I. Number two, some of you don't have a teaching degree. Well, some of you do, and that's great, but some of you don't, and that's okay as well. Few homeschool moms with teaching degrees have told me the degree is helpful. Most tell me that it's more of a hindrance than it comes to teaching your own children. See, a teaching degree prepares a person for how to teach a classroom full of kids. It doesn't really cover what to teach, and with an unbelievably varied source of homeschool materials from which to choose today, the what to teach isn't an issue. And with excellent instructing guides and a fierce commitment to give our kids a quality education, you've got the how to teach covered also. The world really is our classroom, and what a fantastic classroom you might have in your own home. Number three, it annoys you when you tell everything that's wrong with homeschool. So when people always tell you what's wrong with homeschool, it really does annoy you. I'm not usually so blunt, but there you go. When you corner homeschool moms at a grocery store or at a checkout lane in Walmart, or come to their blogs and tell us the things that you think were wrong with homeschooling, that is annoying. That is really annoying. I mean, it's different if you're someone with a vested interest in their lives who actually knows something about homeschooling. Other than knowing that one homeschooling family that lived next door to your aunt's cousin sister at that one particular time. Otherwise, we just as soon you keep your negative opinions about homeschooling to yourselves. In case you wondered, homeschooling is teachers are a special breed. Their moms are. That mostly because the opinion of a complete stranger probably isn't going to change their minds. And the fact that you don't corner or badmouth family educational choices. So be wise. Some of you are domestically challenged. They can cook and can sew a button back on a piece of clothing. It might not look great, but it would be on there. In some people's house, they don't get cleaned as often as they should, and they try to even grow things in their garden It would end up eventually being a patch of dead plants. You know, you're not alone out there. You don't all grind your own wheat, bake your own bread, and maintain small self-sustained farms. But I really admire those who do, and I love buying their grass-fed beef and free-range chickens and eggs. But homeschooling requires 100% of schooling, and housework is affected. You love learning alongside your kids. We don't know it at all, and most of us don't claim to. Some of us do claim to know it all, but I bet you've met some public or private school moms that like that too. We find those know-it-all moms as annoying as you do. That's one of the great things about homeschooling. We can learn it alongside our children. Doing so allows us to expand our knowledge and shows our kids that learning never stops at any age. Homeschool moms are, and sometimes dads are, terrified by algebra. Okay, I know there are those math nuts out there shouting at their computer screens right now. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for the math-phobic camp now. Algebra terrifies us. Or maybe it's chemistry, physics, or trigonometry. Those high school math and science courses can strike fear in the hearts of many a homeschooling mom, but there are lots of ways to homeschooling high school and make sure our kids learn what they need to know, even if it's something that we struggle with or have struggled with in school. And then there's always that learning alongside the kids thing. Sometimes we discover that some of those difficult subjects make a little bit more sense the second time around, especially if there's a teacher manual involved. Or, you know, Google and I are pretty tight. I kind of figure out a lot of things, but I'm not a homeschool dad. Sometimes you lie awake at night worrying that you're ruining your kids as a homeschool mom. Sometimes fear and doubt strike, usually late at night when the house is quiet and you're just laying awake, unable to sleep. Maybe those things you said to us in some of our blogs in the checkout line that you've stated start buzzing in your heads. Maybe it's our own sense of inadequacy or the magnitude of the fact that our kids' education rests squarely on you homeschool moms and dads out there. Perhaps it's the thought that our kids might decide to blame everything that ever goes wrong in their lives on the fact that we homeschooled them. You know, maybe it's just the fact that we toss and turn worrying for something that doesn't even need to be worried about. Most of the times, though, we wake up in the morning and realize that there will be the adequacies, no matter how our kids are educated, and that we're really doing okay. And sometimes we realize that there may be areas of our weakness that we need to shore up in our kids or in the areas in which we are weak. The parents need to be more intentional, and we take steps to make that happen each and every day. And we remember the things for which we blame our parents and realize that some of that is just human nature and little to do with educational choices. My friends, number 8 is you sometimes make mistakes. We're human. Sometimes we mess up. I mean, when I was in school, poor Pluto was still a planet and there were only 4 oceans. This kind of goes back to not knowing it all. There are teachable moments in making mistakes. We all do that each and every day. As long as we and our kids learn from our mistakes and move on, I can't help but think those mistakes serve a purpose, like any mistake in life. And number 9, you really aren't trying to ruin our kids. You're really not. You're trying to help them, really. We didn't decide to homeschool so we could ruin our kids. Homeschooling isn't a decision that we made lightly. We really are doing what we feel is best for our kids. Not yours, but our kids. We're not judging you. And last but not least on my list is you wouldn't trade your homeschooling lifestyle for any other lifestyle there is. With all the things we just talked about, with all its ups and downs, worries and fears, and people insisting that we're ruining our kids, we really wouldn't trade this homeschooling lifestyle for anything. We love being with our kids and learning alongside of them. We love being there at The moment when they get a new concept for a first time, and we love this crazy roller coaster ride called homeschooling. Folks, sometimes it could be overwhelming, probably a lot of times, but it's so worth it. Call me at 844-405-HELP, because together we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and remember, simple smile to a total stranger can change that stranger's life forever, and it can change your life as well. Homeschooling mom and dads, congratulations. I'm proud of you. Keep teaching your children well, and may God bless each and every one.